Greetings and welcome to An In-Depth with a Difference. I'm Dike Rostant. We are literally in one of the hallowed halls at the Queen's Royal College, QRC, and there recently was a Leadership Bootcamp, Manners Maketh Man. So let's say thank you to Mr. Brian Harry, both for facilitating and letting us know about it. But we are going to speak with some of the participants about their experience. So we may hear some cars in the background, we may be hearing the scout or the marching band in passing, but that's one of the nice things about it because it's school orientation at this point in time. But Ms. PTA President, give me an idea, please, Ms. George, about what the bootcamp, the Leadership Bootcamp was about, please.
So the QRC, or Queen's Royal College Leadership Bootcamp, is the brainchild of Dr. Brian Harry. The QRC OBA would have been the engine, would have started the program in 2022. However, we have since expanded that from our boys and our young men to parents and our students of other schools who do work with QRC for things like She's Royal or so. So the QRC PTA, our input is really, we are the driver, they are the engine. So we drive the entire registration process. And then, of course, the boot camp is to make sure and put out, QRC has holistic teaching and holistic education. This is just an icing on the cake to make sure that we, of course, add to the leadership skills of our community so that we continue to foster good relationships and, of course, develop our in-house talent as well.
And in terms of those good relationships, thank you very much for that. Let's get to know each other a little bit. So I want to have the mic pass around and you will give your name and how it is you found out about the Leadership Bootcamp and one of the things that you really appreciated about it. We start with you, thanks.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am Ayana Dinzi. I found out about the program through Create Future Good, an NGO based on volunteer work. One thing I really appreciated about the program, it really helped me with identifying the my future and my future career and what I really solidify that the thought and what I wanted to do, as well as to help with my mindset on going forward as a student. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dinsley.
Good morning. My name is Crystal James, and I am the parent of Form 1. He's now coming, his Victor McLean, he's coming into Form 1Y. And I found out about the Leadership Bootcamp during, it was an invitation to the QRC members, so I found out there. And one of my key takeaways from this bootcamp is just, it redefined my mindset of a leader. So leaders for me is not just about, being in charge, it's about taking care of those that you're in charge of. And I have now implemented that in my home.
And I heard a little about Victor, and I heard that he little but he talawa in terms of having this big personality, and definitely one of those that we should be looking out for in the future.
Most definitely, I want him to be future president.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Brianna Joseph. I found out about the Queen's Royal College Bootcamp from my principal at Providence, Ms. Crystal Gorin. One of the things that encouraged me to come to the bootcamp is I was very inspired by the things that they had on the flyer. I feel like there were a lot of good things that the nation and children of this nation needs to get more information on. And coming to the program, I am so happy that I decided to come because it really taught me that we're all leaders in one way or another. And in order to be a good leader, we have to be courageous, we have to believe in ourselves and push forward in whatever we believe in. And I'm just happy that I was a part of it.
Fellas, I hope they're not using up all the good things in the back there. Yes, ma'am.
Hi everyone, my name is Joella O'Brady. I also attend Providence Girls, and I learned about this program from my principal, Mrs. Crystal Gorin. And I took away from this program, like Brianna said, a leader isn't about just telling someone what to do. And being a leader, you're not born a leader. We're all have the ability to become leaders, and I learned that to be a leader, You have to lead with love to be a good leader. You have to be willing to be vulnerable, to open up to possibilities and risk with your team.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brady. I'm passing the mic around that way so it doesn't foul up too much. But in terms of like that leading with love, there is actually a publication that Dr. Harry was speaking about. So hopefully we have a conversation about that sometime in the future. But yes, sir.
Good morning. My name is Isaiah Bess. I found out from the leadership program from one of my teachers, Miss Blackman. Things I learned from the bootcamp that a leader is someone who loves the people he works with, doesn't tell his team to work, but works with his team.
Thank you so much. Mr. Jacob, sir.
Hi, my name is Jacob Claxton Griffith. I found out of this boot camp from my mom. One day we were driving and I asked her where we were going and she said QRC and I was like, school didn't open yet. I'm supposed to enjoy my day playing game with my friends. And then she said, well, sometimes I decide. So I went to the boot camp, and one thing I took away from it is that the adults really care about us because they took the time out of their schedules and just decided to teach us, which I find was really kind of them.
Thank you so much.
Morning, everyone. My name is Zachary Rogers, and I found out about the bootcamp from the QRC PT. I got an email about it. I was like, yeah, why not? I'm not doing anything. And one thing I really took away from this, it really helped me to self-introspect and to look at myself as a leader and pinpoint, okay, I need to fix this. And it taught me I need to let go of control and trust the people around me.
And thank you for that. And Zachary, I want to move from that point of ceding control a little bit and opening yourself, being vulnerable to be able to have new experiences, kind of emptying your cup. And I want to ask you, Ms. George, what was the rationale in terms of moving from just boys to involving young ladies? And what are some of the things that you all may have wrestled with to say, we're really going to do this? Okay, let's do it.
I think the rationale with QRC, I have to put a plug in. We are leaders in everything we do. So we just don't want to, our young men have so much, abilities and so much opportunities here. And because we are expanding different initiatives, again, I mentioned the She's Royal program dealing with gender-based violence. We thought it would be really good to collaborate with our NGOs that we work with, as well as the schools that we work with on the program. So we're not just looking at the community, or I can say, yes, we are looking at the community. We are expanding our QRC community by including the other schools. And of course, again, contributing to society on the whole. I would say the challenge would be the number of persons we could have invited to the program, because we would have wanted to have more students and more collaboration, but this is just the beginning, and we are looking and hoping to get sponsorship to expand the program, because of course, it's free for the participants, but there are costs involved that we absorb through the PTA as well as the OBA. And of course, the college as well. Yes.
All right, I don't have a specific person that I want to call, so I want to know who wants to answer this question, because Victor's mommy spoke about already implementing things, using things that you would have gotten in the boot camp. Is there anyone else who has already gotten something that they find themselves using in your day-to-day activities? I see you nodding, Zachary. Yeah. So you'll give me that answer. Thank you. Just take the mic.
Well, when I got to the bootcamp, I had really nothing planned, but afterwards, from all the knowledge I learned, I ended up starting a lessons business. And it gave me a lot of information, like trusting other people, trusting your friends, having a worthy rival. You're not competing with other lessons, you're just, building up yourself. So it helped me to not only get or start a business and make money, but just grow as a person.
No, congratulations for that one, but take me down that rabbit hole a little bit of having a worthy rival.
Well, when you have a worthy rival, basically, you're not competing with them, but you're competing with yourself. So yourself from yesterday, you need to be better, and you need to be improved to the person that you want to be tomorrow. With a worthy rival, you look at them and you say, okay, it's like a race. I'm not going to trip you to win the race. I'm going to train and train and train. So for the future races, I'm going to hopefully exceed your ability.
Okay, and I see you nodding, Ms. Joseph. But that point reminds me of someone talking about Kalinda and saying that conflict is also collaboration, because having someone that you're competing with kind of makes you step your game up to be your best self. But I saw you nodding a little bit in terms of some of the things that Zachary was talking about. Now, I'm the child of teachers. So when I see people nodding and so forth, I want to pick up on it. So what is it that you agreed with?
Well, when he said it's the Leadership Bootcamp inspired him to open a business and better himself as a person, for me, every day that I went home after attending the bootcamp, I would share the knowledge that I gained with my peers, my friends, my family, and it encouraged us and it helped us to grow or helped us to think about what we want to do in the future. Started planning where I want to go for college in the States, London, the trips I want to make. I started seeing a bigger future for myself, not just here in Trinidad, because there are many opportunities outside of Trinidad. Yes, I love my country and I want to better my country. I want to leave an impact on this country. I want my name to be known as somebody who is helping, who's helpful, who did something for their country. And the bootcamp was such an amazing event that helped, I'm pretty sure, each one of us to take something from it and want to run with it. I'm pretty sure a lot of us got business ideas, as Zachary said. Business ideas that we could help improve our schools, our communities. And I just want to say thank you to QRC and the board for this amazing camp.
And I feel like I need to start taking autographs from now. So I'll say, I know her when. She just finished the bootcamp. But on this note, we take a short break. We are coming back. We are talking about the Leadership Bootcamp that would have just taken place at QRC. Stay with us. We return with more. Welcome back. We are speaking with a cohort of individuals who took part in a leadership bootcamp at QRC. And Ms. O'Brady, I want to start back with you, thank you. In terms of leading with love, what are some of those ideas, points, lessons that you would have learned?
So right, back onto the point I made earlier from what I learned, I would like to say mentioning one of our mentors throughout the course of our bootcamp is Mr. Mohammed Anwar, and he wrote a book called Love is a Business Strategy, and that taught us that when being a leader, as I said before, is not just about saying, okay, I'm in charge, you do this, you do that. You have to take the time to willing to be vulnerable. And culturally, we tend to look at vulnerability as some sort of weakness, but it's a lot more than what we think it is. Vulnerability opens a lot of doors for possibilities. And when you're vulnerable, you're able to connect with your team on a deeper level and move forward with different perspectives and mindsets. And it really gives you a change in view on how to work with your team and deeper understand them.
Thank you so much for that. And I pass it to Ms. Lindsay, please, because Ms. Joseph and you, Ms. O'Brady, just spoke about opening possibilities. And one of the things that would have happened was during the boot camp is that you all were working on a campaign. Tell me about that a little bit, please.
So within the boot camp, everybody had their own little group, and we had to come up with something within the matter of 15 minutes. So Mr. Harry really put us to it. And my team, we decided to come up with an I Am Enough campaign. And one of the basis of the boot camp was vulnerability, as she said, as well as people not in Trinidad. We recognize a problem with people not feeling that they belong, or that they're enough, or that they feel like they deserve an opportunity or love, an opportunity to university and other different things that we have going on. So we decided to do the campaign I Am Enough, which is not something that big. It's a program where it's technically split up into two sections, where we're dealing with the mental and physical well-being of the students, as well as the academic well-being of the students. So the academic part will be a study program where we're like, okay, so starting from this term, because the Form 1s are now coming in, they kind of don't know what they want to do yet, or the workload. So from Forms 2 to 5, we were going to have volunteers from sixth form to come in and teach or tutor the younger forms after school, before school even, because some people reach sometimes 6 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. And so, you go to, it's almost like a sister program. And we are planning to implement this at St. Francois, which is my school, Providence, as well as QRC with Victor. So the physical and mental side of it is going to be things like doing yoga, health and wellness fairs at the school, where we'll have volunteers from the alumni come in and talk about mental health, and as well as the physical aspect of it, working out. They do a Zumba class, yoga, as I mentioned. So that's what we're planning to start by term 1. Then into term 2, we're gonna send out forms to the Form 1s to see where they're at with what they think they would want to be tutored in. After that, after about the first year, which will be the first academic year, we will have students who may come up and be like, okay, well, I understood this or I understood that, and I think I'm very proficient in math now. I think I'm very proficient in history. So then they're like, well, I think I could tutor somebody now. So then we will have a constant cycle of volunteers, not just sixth forms, but even reach down to the Form 1s. A very strong student in Form 1 who may be proficient in math. They're like, okay, well, I could help you in this or I could help you in that. So it further builds the community within the school so that everybody feels, okay, I belong, I am enough, and we can all share this workload. And it's not just, okay, a hierarchy that we're building with the sixth forms or fifth forms. It's something that could be implemented even within the Form 1s, that they too feel comfortable enough.
All right, and I want you to pass the mic to Victor's mommy. Thank you for to pick up on that. But even before you start to speak about it, there are about 3 things that I want to say. 1, please don't sell yourself short, because you started off saying that it's not that big, but what you saying to me, it's sounding humongous. And even like one of those religious texts that we have talks about faith of a mustard seed, but faith with work. I think it's, and even having the experience of having young ones enter the secondary school system now and not sure what it is they're going to meet, how it is they're going to be kind of made to feel a part of the system. I'm not saying that I want to transfer them so that to face some of that tongue traffic, but it really sounds positive. But what are your thoughts on this? Having Victor looking to come in to be part of a system or a campaign like this?
I am extremely excited for Victor to be a part of this program, because it shows that there's love and a sense of belonging, that people can come together and really push forward to do something great and to become great. Well, for me, the program with Victor that he will be a part of, and mentorship and whatnot, I think is exciting, because the youths these days, they are basically, how to put it, most of them, they are classed by the older folks as, Generation X, Generation of Vipers, and they kind of speak bad of them. So I am excited that my son can come in to be a part of a program, whereas he could, bring something more to the table and to show them, no, we are not like that. We are different, and we could grow up to become great.
All right, thank you so much. And I want to pass the mic to Jacob, because you said, Mommy said sometimes I make the decisions. So in terms of like the lessons that you were learning and this, what are some of those decisions that you were possibly even forced to make during the
Like,
camp?
what decisions? was I?
Did you have any decisions to make during the camp? Because I heard that some people had 15 minutes to come up with an idea. Did you have anything to do like that?
Yeah, we gathered a team and we had 15 minutes to work on a project. And the project we came up with is basically like school equality. Like nowadays people see, for example, QRC, they see it as a prestigious school. But like if children don't get into the prestigious schools, they'll just say, I could just give up here. I don't need to do anything else. So what we are trying to do is trying to get the other schools to collab with each other. Like for example, they could do like school events together, like football, dance, and also other clubs.
All right, thank you so much. And I want to ask you about your project, please.
Our project was about keeping the environment clean. Not sure if we'll be able to get it started, but we started off by saying we could have different form classes go against each other to pick up plastic waste. And the most plastic waste collected wins for the school. And we also went bigger, saying that different schools could go against each other to see who went. Different schools could go against each other, and whoever collected the most plastic waste will be able to get a grant to upgrade the school, fix different things within the school.
All right, thank you so much. And you're passing it to Miss Esther, who will have the final word. How do you feel hearing these ideas and seeing what kind of potential a program like this has, not just for QRC, but society on the whole?
I would say on a personal note, it was very emotional to know that because we have so much promise to offer. I would also like to encourage, because we have so many ideas from different entities, I would also like to reach out to fellow parents from other schools. You know, as Jacob said, we talk about prestige school. QRC is a royal school, we are on prestige, but we have a lot of persons working together collaboratively to bring a unique experience to the young men and our affiliates. So what I would like to see moving forward as well is like schools like Providence, St. Francois, St. James Secondary. I would like to see the parents come out, you know, and support these initiatives. I'd like to see the alumni come out and support these initiatives because it sounds great and it's going to be difficult, so they are going to need the support. And of course, I'll also put a plug in for other sponsors to come and support the young men. For example, St. James Secondary, if we have a grand prize, you know, things like that we want support with. But it is really a lovely experience, and this is what the program was about. This is the vision, and this is where we want to take it. We want to take it bigger, outside of QRC and Providence and St. Francois. Take it to Trinidad and Tobago.
And you said it's been lovely, and this conversation has been lovely. We've had some sounds, we've had some temperature, but I really want to thank you for being part of it. And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, this has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. Thank you so much for joining us.